Challenge. Yes, thumbs up. I'm seeing a thumbs up in the balcony, at least. Welcome to the Pitchfork Challenge 2023. We hope you've had a great Radically Rural so far. This will be the last session before the closing, so we are hopeful that you have gotten everything you wanted out of it. If you have, we'd love to hear about that. If you haven't, we'd love to hear about your ideas for the next Radically Rural. The Pitchfork Challenge is a business pitch competition. Many of you have probably been to business pitch competitions in a variety of places. Ours is focused exclusively on rural entrepreneurs, and it was intentionally created in 2016 to address what had been the plummeting rate of entrepreneurship and business owners entering in small business following the Great Recession. Now, we're happy to say that the rate of rural startups has rebounded to some extent, but there still are not enough to our taste, and we have learned that the Pitchfork Challenge offers a chance for money and momentum to local businesses that we love to see thrive. So we have continued the Pitchfork Challenge, and I think it is going to continue in perpetuity. I just heard one of the judges say, "I don't want to be fired. It's the funnest thing I do all year." So I think that you guys will enjoy this experience as much as we do. Let me tell you a little bit about the process of coming to the Pitchfork Challenge finals. The finalists have been working, they were selected from applications that were submitted in the midsummer. They have been working with pitch coaches and the judges since mid-August and have developed these pitches that you will see here today. So already you find out that we are not Shark Tank, all right? We are here to help people succeed, not to get in their way. And so part of the way we do that is to help them develop their pitches. Because one of the things we know is that in order to articulate to a group of strangers, you really have to understand your business and know your model and know it inside out. And so part of what happens during the pitching coaching is that it is business coaching in disguise. And I'm sure our finalists would tell you that that's sometimes easy to receive and sometimes hard to receive, but it can be valuable all the same. So I want to say a special thank you to the 12 coaches that worked with our pitchers in this process and 5 judges who have given generously of their time over the last 3 months. Now let me explain the rules of the Pitchfork Challenge. First of all, we will cheer, and I mean cheer. I do not mean lackadaisically clap a few times. I mean woo, woo, kind of cheer each pitcher onto the stage. And I will lead you in that effort. And for those of you that have been with me in a few sessions, you know that I have my outdoor voice on at all times and that I can really make a lot of noise. So come with me, okay? Each presenter will have 6 minutes to pitch, and they will present the ubiquitous slide deck from here. And then after their presentation, there will be 4 minutes more or less of Q&A time with the judges seated right here. Now, we will then cheer the pitcher off the stage because we don't think there can be too much encouragement for rural entrepreneurs. If you are a rural entrepreneur, you know how hard the work is, and getting a little bit of cheerleading along the way is always appreciated. Then after all of the pitches have been presented, the judges will adjourn and they will make their decision today. And at the closing ceremony, we will present one of these pitchers with a real live $10,000 check. Please do not accost them on the way out of the event, okay? So what are the judges thinking about and what have the pitchers focused their pitches on? They are thinking about this: the product and service and the viability of that, the market for the product and service, traction, meaning how much progress has the entrepreneur already made and what will this winning help them do, their team, have they got the right people assembled besides themselves to help them on their journey, how they will use the funds, and then the community benefit, because we are about local entrepreneurs that pay it forward, and so how is it that they will benefit the communities in which they operate and live and work. And then finally, their pitch performance. You'll see that pitch performance is the seventh criteria and weighted equally to all of those other criterias. We are most interested in supporting successful entrepreneurs, some of whom are amazing public speakers, and some of whom are doing it because it's what's necessary to do. So we do not want to penalize them for that, and we want to honor that it takes a huge amount of bravery and courage to come up and tell your story, because all of us that are entrepreneurs know that our businesses are very close to our hearts. And so when we talk about our businesses, we are talking about ourselves, our dreams, and our ambitions. The winner of the Pitchfork Challenge will be announced in the closing ceremony, which will be across the way in the main stage of the Colonial. I hope you will all be there to hear who has won. And of course, you are free to score along and see how well you do. You can make odds with yourself about whether or not you've picked the winner. You are also free to talk with the pitchers after the event if you discover that they have something that you just need to connect with, whether that's as a customer or something that you want to do, help them bring to your community or something else. Now, before I welcome the first pitcher, I want to introduce our judges. Sitting right here in front of me, and do you want to stand up and wave to the people? Sitting in front of me is Julie Glossner. Julie is the Southern Regional Director of the New Hampshire Small Business Development Center. Julie and her team work with our entrepreneurs on a regular basis, and we love the advice and coaching they give. Next to her is Cody Morrison, who is the Executive Director for the Monadnock Economic Development Corporation. Cody is running a really interesting project called the Bringing It Home Project, was a project to benefit childcare businesses in our area. Plus, there have been a few other major grants that Cody has gotten that will help other economic development projects in our region. So we are very grateful to him. Next to him is Chris Janke. Chris gives himself this title, so I want you guys to all know that I didn't make this title up. So he is an entrepreneur himself. He is a business coach with expertise in the food business space. His business is called Small Business Butter, and he names himself the manager and churner in charge. So there you go. Then next to him is Janine Rubin. Janine is an investor and works with angel investors in her group, the Agile Angel Partners. And then finally, Roy Wallen, who is, I think, our most veteran judge, but Julie and Janine and Roy have also judged before. Roy is the CEO of Directional Healthcare Advisors, helping MedTech and other kinds of businesses like that go to market and succeed. But Roy is also one of our leading coaches in the volunteer coaching staff at Hannah Grimes, and we are internally grateful for those 38 subject matter and general business specialists who volunteer their time every year to help all of the entrepreneurs in the Monadnock region. So that is our judging panel. I see that we are all seated and ready. I'm going to alert the pitchers. There is a balcony full too, and that, I believe, am I getting this right? Is this the Keene High School group up there? Yeah, okay. So those are young entrepreneurs learning about what might be in their future. So we are so excited to have you here. So without further ado, I am happy to welcome the first presenter, Josh Boisvert. Okay, I've spent months trying to make sure. It's French Boisvert. There you go. Who is from Newfin Designs. Is everybody ready to clap and roar?
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Josh Boisvert, Newfin Design. I've been fortunate to have worked with a lot of talented people in my life, and I've learned from them all. And it's these things that we pick up along the way that shape us, make us unique and one of a kind. Now, we live in this world where AI is real and our appliances are talking to each other, and we communicate through little screens, but we're still human beings. We still want to feel things that are real in life, something that has friction, maybe something that's built with you in mind, or your application in mind. How about something that adds to your story? Now, this is why I started the company Newfin Design, which is we make outdoor garden structures and furniture, as well as I do hand-drawn landscape design drawings. Now, when I say garden structures, I mean like arbors, gates, benches, planters, and other unique furnitures. The word Newfin comes from my ancestry of Newfoundland and my wife's of Finland. And it's through our culture and our family that we created this style and brand that finds the beauty in the saw marks. Maybe the imperfections in the materials. We also repurpose materials. I take used wine barrels and break them down, use the staves as accent pieces, and cut the metal hoops into fasteners and escutcheons. The lumber is hand-chosen from local sawmills. And these sawmills harvest this lumber locally. For instance, Henniker, New Hampshire, Mount Vernon, New Hampshire. Each piece of wood is sealed completely before it's fastened. Every fastener and every sealer has New England's weather in mind. Any wood that's exposed to plant roots, I use natural oil so it can be used for organic applications. What I'm getting at is all of these things collectively are not easier or more cost-effective. It's the right way to do things, and that's what Newfin does. With over 25 years of experience in the design-build world, I noticed there's a niche that's been widely overlooked in this industry. You see, people, they put a lot of money and planning and time into their outdoor spaces and landscaping. In fact, they say on the average, it's 15 to 20% of your property value is in your landscape or your outdoor space. That's a tremendous industry. That's up there with kitchens and bathrooms. But when it comes to outdoor garden structures and furniture, there's not a lot of unique options, especially locally. So what are your options? Well, you could use a fast furniture company online, but let's be sure on that, it's gonna be junk, not assembled, and it's not gonna last in New Hampshire for more than a season or two. Maybe you could find a luxury furniture company out of California. Well, their price point's gonna start over there higher in their market. Then you include middlemen and transportation. You're gonna be way beyond any price point in Newfin, as well as they're using materials from somewhere else without the client in mind, without the application in mind. It's not local. Maybe another option would be is to hire a local carpenter. Find a slot in their schedule to see if they can come over and build something they've probably never built before and probably never will again. What I'm trying to say is that I think Newfin is in a class of its own. There's nothing I can find locally that compares to the product of Newfin Design. Now, through grassroots marketing with word of mouth and some social media, I've also introduced myself to different retailers and garden centers and galleries, but I've also started offering a contractor price to design build companies, which has worked out very well. And what this is doing is these companies are using my services as part of their services now, and I'm working with their client and the company from the design phase, and if there's any garden structures or furniture that's involved in that, I work with them on that as well. So with that being said, we just started this company this spring and already have exceeded our goal for the year. In fact, my third-year projection is to be at least $150,000 in revenue, and I think we'll actually surpass that next year now, which is fantastic, especially over the last few weeks. We've really picked up a lot more traction. So I think, too, to mention it locally, we also have found some clients down in the tip of Cape Cod. I have a great company out of Cambridge, Massachusetts, a design build company I've been working with. I delivered some planters to Beacon Hill a few weeks ago. So we're picking up traction in New England, not just New Hampshire, which I find to be really, really cool, knowing that I'm just from a little town in Greenfield of 1,200 people and using local materials, and we're getting all this exposure in just a matter of a few months. Now, when it comes to my team, this spring I decided to change my career. And with the loving support and guidance of my wife, Melissa, the clever marketing approach of my daughter, Lily, we created a brand that represents quality. And we made a website. I started to build things. And then I was introduced to Hannah Grimes. And then they introduced me to some other people and companies. And then I had local companies I was talking to that now are supporting Newfin. And all of a sudden, just in a matter of a few months, we're beyond where I thought it would be in a year. So with this growth in mind, I've quickly outgrown my workspace. I have a functional workshop in the basement. I have a greenhouse that I've converted over to lumber storing and drying, which is an important part of the process. But the main part of the process is when I bring the lumber in from the mills, that this also has to be processed and ground down and shaped and be ready for assembly. And the space I have now is no longer sufficient at all. So if I was to be fortunate to be awarded this $10,000 today, I'd be able to build this proposed pavilion here, which is a four-season pavilion. It has knee walls, and the open spaces would have sliding curtains of screening and canvas, so I could use it for different applications at all different times of the year. And I would be able to do this without having to add any sort of debt or loan to the company. So I thank you all very much for listening. I invite you to check out our website, follow us on Instagram, and share with us on Facebook. And remember that it's through experience, design, craftsmanship, and sustainable materials that Newfound creates individually unique pieces, ready to find their soulmates one at a time. And I want to help you find yours. Thank you.
Come back, Josh. You've got to get questions. I know, Josh. I want all of you to know that one of the things that Hannah Grimes uses as a criteria about working with entrepreneurs are they coachable? And I want to tell you that Josh has taken one of the most heartfelt pieces of coaching advice I've ever given, and I watched his pain when he heard that I told him to present without his hat on. So I think that Josh may feel kind of naked, and that's probably the reason he ran off the stage. And he explained to me his hat is on brand, and so it really should have been a part of his pitching attire. So, judges, you have some questions for Josh. Julie.
Yes.
So, great presentation. I can really tell how you've kept improving over the various pitches. So if you were to win the money, when will you start working on your new structure?
Whether I win the money or not, I need to build this before we really get into the snow season. So I would start this, I have some projects lined up now, so I would start this in November. And it would take me about maybe 3 weeks or so to get the structure up, or at least there's a roof on it, and then I can pick away at it through the winter. The goal is to be able to really make a lot of products for galleries and things that I have opportunities with through the winter, so therefore the space is limited.
Chris.
With that, I have the computer locked.
Hi, Josh. I just want to second Julie's comments that you've clearly been working on your presentation, and good work. What did Beacon Hill pick up from you? I want to know what the hot design is in Boston.
Yeah, it's I built some planters that were custom to a space that was on a courtyard for a couple that lives there, and it's an overlook of the city, beautiful balcony, and so these planters were built out of hemlock from here in New Hampshire, and they had I used like a whitewash finish on it, and the interiors have an agricultural liner. You basically can take a hose to the inside of these, and these were built to be actual antiques. They're supposed to always be.
Okay, great. Sound beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, one more cheer for Josh as he logs on. I'm going to let her click it. There we go. That's the pause slide. So our next presenter is Kelly McCutcheon of Broken Boat Farm. Okay, you guys are slowing down already. Come on. Woo!
Y'all ready? Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here today. My name is Kelly, and I am the owner and CEO of Broken Boat Farm, LLC. My farm drives revenue from renting out my goats and sheep for livestock landscaping, hence my taglines of Call and Rent Your Goats and Call and Rent Your Sheep. Livestock landscaping has been used for centuries to maintain fields, pastures, and town common areas based on archaeological evidence from around the world. In the present day, livestock landscaping is used by the Cape Cod Park Rangers to maintain the edges of the canal that are inaccessible to equipment and that cannot be tamed with chemicals due to the negative impact on wildlife, local vegetation, and groundwater supplies. I started livestock landscaping in 2016 when we first bought our farm. In 2018, we switched to goats and sheep for our backyard farm wedding. In 2020, I started renting out my goats due to the opportunity the pandemic presented for residential clients. In 2021, I registered as an LLC and added municipalities to my client list. In 2022, my business grew to include field and pasture restoration and reclamation with my sheep crew. Now, in 2023, I've expanded again into conservation lands and ground mount solar arrays. As demand for my sheep grazing services increase, I need a larger livestock trailer that is capable of ferrying all 32 head of sheep at once in order to maximize sheep revenue and transportation efficiency. Winning the grant will eliminate undue stress on the sheep, reduce redundant repetitive miles that are unavoidable in the current trailer, and allow me to reallocate 70% of labor costs to meet goat demand during the limited grazing season. Broken Boat Farm would not be where it is without my husband Josh, who helped me load and drive the goats to work in 2020. He ended up leaving his full-time job with benefits in 2021 to come work for me full-time based on demand. My associate site manager, Nick, is 17 and will not only be graduating high school this year, but will be graduating to a site manager with me. Broken Boat Farm would also not be where it is today if my husband and I had not graduated from Northeastern University School of Business, and without the free online classes provided by Hannah Grimes, the UNH Extension, and the CWE over the last 3 years. I'm most proud of the GOAT's Halloween fundraisers to raise money for the Henniker Food Pantry right before Thanksgiving. Winning the grant will ensure the sheep support in the future by making lambs. Grass-fed lamb is very popular with consumers in today's food-conscious market, and it's very important to me that 10% of lambs going to freezer camp in the fall will be donated to the local food pantries in the towns the lambs worked in. Besides the Halloween fundraisers, having access to areas equipment can't, and having union livestock, yes, you heard me correctly. My livestock are union, and per the GOAT's union contract, they do not work in the rain. My clients also seek me out because I do not use chemicals. My first sheep client hired me because of his refusal to use any chemicals after losing so many friends to Agent Orange exposure during and after the Vietnam War. Historically, I've seen an over 60% increase in revenues year over year. I am thrilled to be a profitable seasonal business and over the moon to be a profitable seasonal farm before my 5th year of operations. However, the margins are incredibly slim due to overwinter hay cost. After several years of drought compiled with unprecedented rain this season, have greatly hindered my ability to reinvest revenue into a larger livestock trailer and into hiring more help. New Hampshire is a beautiful state because of the nearly 2 million acres of publicly held conservation lands that are either permanently protected or in public ownership. Behind me is a breakdown of conservation land ownership in New Hampshire. In addition to the protected conservation lands, there's also nearly 5 million acres not held by the federal government considered private land. This is where my goats make money in the private sector doing residential landscaping. To summarize, winning the grant will not only eliminate undue stress on the sheep while increasing productivity and profitability, but allow me to allocate current and future LLC revenues to hire 2 more full-time seasonal associate site managers and 1 more part-time seasonal office assistant. More hands make less work, and having the additional help will allow me to transition from 1099 contractor pay to W-2 pay with benefits as soon as possible, providing local, sustainable jobs with competitive wages that do not require specialized training or a college degree. Thank you everyone for your time today. My name is Kelly, and I am the owner and CEO of Broken Boat Farm LLC. Please feel free to join me in the goats at one or both of our events this fall. Thank you again for your time today. My name is Kelly.
Okay, I saw a few blank faces. I just want Kelly to break the news to you about what it means when lambs go to freezer camp.
So freezer camp is the polite way of saying the butcher. It's the polite way of saying the butcher. That's freezer camp. Well-loved animals taste better. If you disagree, we'll talk later.
All right, now for the judges' questions.
Thank you, Kelly. Did a great job presenting today. Had a quick question about the use of the trailer and what it would do for your livestock. I know you mentioned it would provide or help provide less stress for your animals. What does that do? What does that mean for the animals themselves?
So, Martha Ewart, Aretha Franklin, Lamelia Earhart hate to be separated, and they always get separated in the 4 numerous trips we have to do. And then you have Jonesy, Riley, Dave, Angela Lansbury, and Valentine who don't like to be separated. And like, it causes stress because they get separated, and then it stresses them out. And stressed out animals don't take good care of their lambs. So eliminating stress on the sheep, because I just bought a new ram, so knock on wood, there'll be lambs this spring. So it's just, we're no different than livestock. You gotta keep them unstressed to have happy, healthy lambs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other questions? Yeah.
Kelly, can you describe a little bit more about sort of the diversity of your business? Because it's not just grazing and landscape clearing, right? It's caring for the animals and raising animals and sending them off to freezer camp.
Yes. So
Good.
I am looking for a USDA butcher currently, because there's only 2 in the state of New Hampshire, and one of them already has a 3-year waiting list. And Jonesy and Riley didn't do their job last fall, so like that's why I had to get a proven ram this year to make sure we had lambs, because I can't book for 3 years in advance if I can't guarantee lambs. And so yes, that would be a new revenue stream, would be the lambs. We don't sell my goats, we don't sell lambs right now. So right now, we only drive revenue from renting out the goats and renting out the sheep for livestock landscaping and land clearing. But lamb sales will be a new revenue stream starting next year, in theory, knock on wood.
Thank you.
Other questions? Okay, it's your turn to yell again. Are you ready? Thank you, Kelly. Okay, we're bringing on the next pitcher, and we need a lot of whoop whoop. Okay, because I know you get tired. You start to feel a little foolish, but here we go. Our next pitcher is Oz Kibar, whose company is eKids Plus.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me today. My product is eKids Plus. It is complete childcare management software. When we started our company, we focused on some problems, we observed some problems. Some of them are childcare centers, generally having issues on management, like every business nowadays, staffing issues, and so much paperwork. Besides that, childcare providers spend so much time on reporting, accounting, and also parent side, they are losing so much milestones of their children, their pictures, etc. And after that, we found the solution. We created our software, which is all-in-one software solving all problems and bringing standardization for the business childcare industry. By doing that, the providers, they are going paperless. The parents, they are able to focus on their children and track their children better way and secure way. These are some of our modules. I just want to show you. The parents or providers, they are able to make attendance tracking, daily report, accounting, social network, and more and more. Benefits of the software on childcare provider: easier management, and staffs they save up time up to 25%, and easy reporting system. It's very important because especially nowadays people don't want to have so much burden on their shoulder, and when you use the standardization, it makes the life a lot easier. From the parent side, quality connection, they don't need to use several different apps in order to communicate. They can use only one app and deal with everything. And of course, they are able to save their milestones, pictures, videos forever. They are not gonna lose any of them because we are using Google's servers. And society-wise, it's happier parents, paperwork reduction, and valuable insight and analytics for educators, if needed. For sure, we need that. And revenue model, I'm gonna explain it with an example. We charge childcare providers based on their children and staff population. For example, kindergarten. if they have 100 children and 5 staff, we charge 105 multiply $1 a month, and generally we make agreement a year or 2 years, 3 years, doesn't matter. We are not forcing people. They have to feel comfortable, and there is no reason to force them. Generally, we test and adapt eKit Plus in each country. We bring it, and generally we find 10 providers, give it to them, make our research, and check. When I applied for this PitchFork, I had 0 schools in the United States. Now we have 12 childcare centers. One of them, their name's in Ohio. We just made agreement last week, to be honest. And how we attracted them? Because we are flexible. We are not forcing our platform. We are just adjustable. It's easily. And we are bringing their logo to the Apple Store. If you want to grow and you want to create some trust on the environment, you can use our system, and you can have your own logo in Apple Store and Android. It's huge benefit because it's hard, nobody wants to deal with it. And our traction, we started 2017 in Turkey. Now we are in Germany, in Nigeria. In Nigeria, it is free of charge. We are doing as a non-profit organization to support them. And we have over 1,000 schools and over 72,000 clients. And current revenue is $25 a month. We are making $5,000 a month as a profit, but I don't take this profit. I am using it for my team to build bigger environment and make them more motivated. Our testimonials, we have 98% satisfaction rate, and our target market is United States, in Europe as well, and there are 600,000 daycares in the United States so far, and it's growing. The market share is over $60 billion. And our marketing strategy is community engagement, exhibitions, conferences, and email marketing, social media marketing, and referrals. I'm going to give you an example very soon. And how to use the funding: 50% of marketing purposes, 30% attending conferences. In October, I'm going to go National Association for Education Young Children, and thankfully they accept that. It's a huge step up for us. And 20% for the marketing research, because each market is different. We started in Turkey and then we jumped to Europe. It's very similar, but slightly different. We have to adapt our product easily. And our team, I trust my team more than myself, because we have been together over 6 years, and they never fail. We were together when we were sad, we had zero motivation, and 2 of my team members, they are former childcare providers. So we get our expertise and power from the inside and network as well. And why eKit Plus? It's covering all costs and making profit. eKit Plus is not a food. There is no expiration date. You don't need any storage. And very strong team with experience on AdTech and IT industry. I have my degree on business management and marketing and cybersecurity as well. So I know the industry very well. And people say, how are you going to manage it? What are the competitors? For sure we have competitors. Some of them, 2 of them, the big ones, Brightfield and ProCare. And when we started in Turkey, there was a competitor. They were surpassing all market. It's called Key12. Now we are bigger than them because we believed ourselves and we didn't focus on the numbers. We focused on problem solving and how we knocked every door and we adjusted our product for them. They got happier, we got happier. So we believe we did it once and we are gonna do it again. Thank you so much for your time. If you want to let me know.
Woo! So in case you're wondering, Oz does live here in New Hampshire now, and we feel very lucky. We feel very fortunate that he has brought his talents to our state and is going to dominate the world from here. We're totally comfortable with that. All right, questions from the judges. Oh, I see conferring going on among the judges. Yeah, all right. Who wants to go first?
Well, I'll ask. Sorry, I might have missed. So you're going to use the funds if you win. You were going to do it for marketing. What can you expound on that?
Marketing, generally, if you are asking for this funding, I'm gonna go all conferences and meet with people. For this national association, there's gonna be over 7,000 educators, and it's the staff. You meet people. I learned from the Europe. It's a little bit different because it's more rural area. You have to be shoulder to shoulder with the people. You have to be in their environment. I cannot find, if I didn't come here, nobody will know about my product. I am here, it's marketing. So this my mentality works. And I'm gonna know each door. And I forgot to mention about it. Also, each person here can be my partner. Because let's say you know a childcare provider, we made agreement, 30% is gonna go to you directly, no question at all. Because I'm covering my all costs, and the investor who is gonna invest me, I am not gonna bring any cost to this person because I am making money. I yield my profit to Turkey. Turkey is our laboratory, we are using it, and when I bring over here, I'm starting not from the scratch, from the up, and I'm building up and up. Sorry for the long answer, but I like talking.
Great.
Other questions? Chris?
So I appreciate the product already. I have 2 school-age kids, and I can just tell you that the nightmare of communication goes on through public school, through the camps, all of that. Have I made the payment? I can't remember. They're not sure. I'm wondering if you can describe to me a little bit of what the interface from the parent perspective looks like. What you described a little bit more, but you described a little bit, but I'd like to know a little bit more.
I'm gonna make a scene here.
Yeah.
I am parent, I have a child, I drop off my child. There is a scan code, barcode. You scan it, you check in your child automatically. When you want to pick up, you scan it again and check out. And you don't need to worry about if you forget the payment, and the system will create the invoice automatically. It's gonna hit your system, you will get a notification. And when you apply your card, it's gonna make all treason, so you don't need to worry about you paid or not, and it's gonna send you a reminder each time. And it's easier for administrators and parents as well. Other thing, the milestones in the school, some providers, they prefer the cameras and like sharing, taking picture. With this platform, they can upload all pictures, and you are gonna keep it. You are not gonna miss milestones of your children. I don't know if explain, you can ask
great.
more. I like question, you can be harsh. I like to be forced. I like being in Shark Tank because it's the only way to expand the skills. Otherwise, I'm gonna be in the aquarium, right? And it's small. You know the sharks, if you keep the shark in aquarium, it cannot get bigger. But in ocean, it can get bigger. That's why I'm here, I guess.
Okay.
Oz has a background in the military. He's a little tougher than the rest of us, I think.
I experienced a lot, so nothing can hurt me.
I'm not really hoping that a shark comes after me, to be honest with you. So I'll let them have you, okay, Oz? Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Oz.
Thank you.
And our final pitcher of the day is M. Dewey from Garden of the Moon. This is your last chance. Give it up for M. Dewey.
Hey folks, my name is M. Dewey. I am the founder, certified herbalist, and holistic health coach behind Garden of the Moon, an herbal wellness platform and brand designed to support women's monthly hormonal cycles. So yep, I'm up here doing 2 things most people probably pay not to do: public speaking and talking about periods. Lucky for me, I love both of these things. Lucky for you, this is a business pitch, not a biology class. I started Garden of the Moon in 2019, shortly after completing an herbal apprenticeship program where I created my first and signature product, the Inner Season Tea Set, a set of 4 herbal teas designed to nourish the female fertility cycle. Each tea is crafted to support one of the 4 hormonal phases within the monthly cycle through carefully chosen herbal blends at key times throughout the month. In addition to the teas, I'm also the co-author of a published Oracle deck and cycle tracking journal, and I also offer educational resources like workshops and digital assets to help support my customers' journey. I created the teas because it was something I needed, but through my work as a holistic health coach focused on women's health over the past decade, I've seen firsthand just how many other women also struggle with their hormonal health. Currently, 20% of the US population are women in their fertility years, and a recent study showed that up to 80% of women are struggling with an undiagnosed hormonal imbalance. This, coupled with the ever-expanding herbal tea market and wellness industries, opens up significant opportunities for the tea set, as well as future products I have planned to support women through pregnancy, postpartum, as well as the peri and postmenopausal phases of life. I designed the teas based on my herbal education and studies of long-standing traditional uses of herbs for women's health. My customers experience a positive shift in their health because of this unique, holistic approach to cycle-syncing herbs. These positive experiences have led to one of the more exciting pieces of data from tea set sales over the past few years, a high rate of return customers. This statistic plays a huge role in my growth strategy for Q4 of this year, as well as moving into retail and wholesale next year. While I may be the current only official employee of Garden of the Moon, there have been so many helping hands along the way, including those at Hannah Grimes Center. And one resource I'd point out from those shown here is a small grant that I secured earlier this year from the Northern Community Investment Corporation. Thanks to this grant, I was able to pursue a rebranding and new packaging design initiative, and I'll speak more to that in a moment as it also plays a role in my growth strategy. So from 2020 to 2023, I was in the initial phase of business development and testing sales channels while working part-time on my business. This past year, some health struggles kind of made a hit on my sales numbers, but I plan to close out this year at around $10,000 in sales, 90% of that through online. Based on what I've learned about my market, my focus for the next 3 years is a predominantly e-commerce business model with a sprinkle of niche-specific in-person opportunities, targeted retail partnerships, and online educational opportunities like workshops and courses. I currently offer the teas in 2 sizes, a 1-month sample size that will be available at retailers through wholesaling, and then a full-size set that has enough tea for 3 months. The 1-month sample size through retailers will have new packaging that includes a coupon code for customers to come directly to Garden of the Moon for their first 3-month set. I need to secure the capital in order to pursue this new packaging design initiative along with 2 other growth and mission-based projects. First, the supply of rebranded new packaging. Thanks to the NCIC grant I mentioned earlier, I have professionally designed labels and a new packaging strategy to help Garden of the Moon grow. I need to secure the capital first to place my initial orders for all that new packaging to really get the flywheel spinning with the new brand look. Number 2, a strategic promotional campaign. I come from a marketing background, but I know I need some help when it comes to being more strategic, particularly with social media, as Instagram is very popular with my target audience. So I've spoken with a few agencies about hiring this out, particularly for paid media. I also plan to implement an email follow-up funnel that will help to keep customers engaged so that they are ready to repurchase again after 3 months. And then finally, number 3, partnering with local farms and retailers. Not all of the herbs in the interseasons tea set can be grown in New England, but many of them do thrive in our short growing season. So I would love to partner with some of my favorite local herb farmers in New Hampshire and Vermont to pre-order and secure crops for the 2024 growing season, helping my favorite farmer friends out in the fallow season with a bit of income while also ensuring that I have the freshest and locally grown herbs for my teas. Likewise, would love to get the teas into some of the local retail locations and have spoken with a few who are really excited to get them on their shelves once the new packaging is in place. All right, hopefully all the hormone talk didn't make you squirm too much, but I do hope that you can see the potential impact of the interseasons tea set and the help that we can provide women at large. I have big visions for Garden of the Moon and really hope to be able to say that Pitchfork is where things really took off. Thank you.
Okay, questions from the judges?
Great job on your pitch. So you had mentioned that you have new product lines coming out. What's your timing for those?
My anticipated, I want to be able to launch the new brand packaging by Q4 of this year and really take advantage of the holiday sales time for sure. And then wholesale for the tea sets come 2024. I'd love to, by the holiday season of next year, potentially get those new products out. That's very much a TBD for me. I want to see how the tea sets kind of really get cranking and then incorporate once I feel like the rocket's really taken off there. But it's definitely, the tea blends I've created them, they are ready. It's more a matter of the timing for my business and things like that.
I've had the pleasure of working with him for a while, and I'm not in her categorical market right now, and I have been urging her that, pregnant women, fine, but what about postmenopausal women? Come on, we need some balance too. Yeah. Okay, who else?
I'm sure you've thought about this, but I'm curious what you think the cross-marketing potential is between the Sacred Cycles book and the tea market are.
Yeah, this has been a huge opportunity for me. Being a co-author was kind of become this calling card piece. I'm not going to be making my millions through publishing. Hey, that's very kind, but it's become more of a calling card. I have been able to kind of get my foot in the door because of this. So it's opened up more conversations. This has been a huge piece of the retail discussion with potential retail locations when they know I've already been published, and some of them are already carrying the deck and would then be able to put the teas with the deck on their shelves. And then the other piece that is always a big part of, I think, the e-commerce conversation is like bundling. And so that's really helped to drive the tea set sales because there's a lot of interest in the Sacred Cycles products, and the teas fit really beautifully into it's really a package deal basically. So I hope that.
Great, thank you. Yeah.
So do you sell much overseas?
The teas, no. I've done a couple overseas sales. Postage is so expensive and kind of cost prohibitive at this point. But I have interest, and when people are up for paying for it, yes, I can absolutely do that. It's been a little bit of a barrier though, just with the postage piece of things. Yeah.
Okay, one more time, let's give it up for M. Dewey. Okay, so this brings the official part of the Pitchfork competition to a close. There are a couple of things I want to share with you, though, because it wouldn't be Radically Rural if we didn't say that the Pitchfork Challenge was our solution to helping rural entrepreneurs get money and momentum. We want for other communities to have access to that same solution, so we have prepared a guide, and it is yours for the taking. It is on our website, and if you can't find it, you can email me, Allison at Hannah Grimes. I'm in the program, all that kind of thing, and we will get it to you. We have also provided help with others looking to implement it in their own communities. We were super excited to go across the river into Brattleboro as they did their first pitch competition last fall, and so we are ready, willing, and able to help all of you make this happen in your community because we have found it to be a remarkably successful way of not only growing up entrepreneurs, but also growing up communities that support local entrepreneurs because they need customers, they need investors, they need other vendors. And without all of you, the big part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We were in a session yesterday where the guy kind of challenged us on using entrepreneurial, and I'm going to go back to like his thought. A big part of the business ecosystem, it's a much easier word to pronounce, is having all of these supporters. There is this thing about climate. Is it a business-friendly climate? And sometimes I think people think of that as very abstract, and what does that mean? But this is what it means. It means all of you showing up to cheer these entrepreneurs on their journey and find a way to make them successful so that all of us can succeed. And if Hannah Grimes can help you do that in your community, we would, call it a day. That our work here is done. So that is what Radically Rural is about, sharing solutions, and this has been ours. The finals are over now. You may mill about. Do not forget to go to the closing ceremony just across the way. The judges and I are going to adjourn, and we will have the winner named in the closing ceremony. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.